To dupe or not to dupe? That is the question. Well, hello. Welcome back to my amazing friends, and welcome to those who are new. If this is the first time that you are seeing my face, or you've seen my face before and you have not yet clicked that red subscribe button, I would very much like to encourage you to go ahead and do that. Also, please hit like on today's video. It really helps with my reach, and it will help this channel grow and open up new opportunities for us. Actually, the question isn't to dupe or not to dupe. It's, am I in the right tax bracket to spend nearly $400 on a dress I'm probably not going to be able to wear that often, or probably just for Instagram photos? Or should I get a cheap lookalike that may be terrible quality but is 10 times cheaper? Now, I will not pretend to be the queen of sustainability here. Sure, the majority of my content is revolving around thrifting, and soon to be a little bit more about thrift flipping and DIYing and crafting. But if I'm being honest, I don't have the cranial capacity to be the pinnacle example of sustainability. My heart may compel me to do my best to make good choices, but let's be honest. I have the brain of a crow. I see shiny thing, I want shiny thing. I could preach think of the children all I want, but in my heart of hearts, I know that the moment I get a targeted ad that scratches the special interest itch in my brain, add to cart. I say all this because we could talk about the ethics of purchasing a dupe until we are blue in the face.
There's gotta be a better way to say that.
However, when it comes to ethics, I am the last person qualified to discuss it. And then add to the fact that 90% of my target audience is broke, and I am broke, and very cheap. But does that stop me from wanting a $400 princess gown? No, it does not. But have I been curious about the numerous ripoffs on websites like, say, AliExpress? Why, yes. Which is why today's video is happening. Because I had the opportunity to get my hands on a friggin' princess dress from Selkie. And I also caved and got the ripoff from AliExpress. For science and for content, of course. So today you get a 2-for-1 special, a combination Taco Bell and Pizza Hut, as you will. A review of my very first Selkie dress, as well as a side-by-side comparison with the ripoff from AliExpress. Now you may be asking yourself, Scotty, did you really spend $400 on a frickin' dress? Before I answer that, let me stress that today's video is a non-judgmental zone. No judgy, but also, no. Who do you think I am? Spend $400 on a dress? Hell no. I actually got mine secondhand. How else? New with tags from a Selkie buy, sell, and trade group on Facebook, which is a really good resource for both first-time buyers of these trendy, ridiculously expensive brands, and also a great place to find styles and colors that may not be available on the website anymore because they've sold out, which happens a lot because apparently size small is the first to sell out every stinking time, man. And we can all thank my husband for this happening, because if it weren't for him, I'd still be staring at Facebook and Mercari listings and not actually having the cojones to pull the trigger. He saw me eyeing some Selkie dresses and he really wanted me to have one for our anniversary as a gift. And apparently he wrote down the website and he had been eyeing a couple dresses for me, including one of the Queen Bee dresses, which is what I wanted. Unfortunately, my size has sold out. And then the other, like the Ritz Queen Bee is a lot more expensive. I think I was gonna get, I can't remember the name of the style, but I'll put it right here what style it was that I almost got. But then when he saw me considering one off of the buy sell trade group, he swooped in because he probably knew that I wasn't actually gonna buy it. I was just gonna continue talking about it and lamenting about how much I love those dresses. He was a little bit sad because he really wanted it to be a surprise, but I think we can all agree that this is better. So everyone, please thank my husband for today's video and for the dress, because technically it is my anniversary gift. And he's trying to say that it's not. He's like, because it's not a surprise, it's not a gift, it's not his gift to me. But I consider it a gift because I don't need surprises. I would much rather have a good deal than a surprise. Yes, it would have been really fun to get it as a surprise and it come in the mail and I open it and oh my God, it's a Selkie dress, thank you, you know. But then I would still have the sting of knowing that he spent $400. And even though our monies come in separate accounts, we are still a unit, we are still a household. My money is his money. I spent about $250 on it. Originally, this dress retailed for, I think, around $400-ish. That's about the median price of Selkie dresses. The shorter ones are about 300-ish, 250, but the ball gown, like the floor length, are about 400. Sometimes like 500 if it's like really poofy. I know that the new collection, the Monet one, just the simple gowns were like 400, and then if you wanted one of the silk ones, one of like the really foofy ones, I think the seashell Monet one, the actual like fluffy one, not the cotton one, that was like 500. And that's originally what I wanted when it came out. I was gonna use my friend Allie, her affiliate code, so I could get 10% off, but like 10% is not much. It just takes care of the tax, and it was still gonna be like $400 after shipping. So I'm really happy with this. This dress, or at least this style, is no longer available on the website. At least as of now, they have not restocked it. It's completely sold out. This style that we're gonna be reviewing is the Renaissance Girl Renaissance print. Or no, the Renaissance Girl Renaissance Maxi. I'm gonna put it up. I get confused with this one because the style is Renaissance and I believe the print is Renaissance. I don't know, man. This is my first Selkie. I'm not a Selkie expert. I've just been stalking the Facebook groups. I am a noob. So yeah, that is today's video. We are gonna be reviewing Selkie, and then we're gonna be comparing it to the dupe. So let's get right into it, shall we? So firstly, when looking at the Selkie dress, I would say that the quality is pretty good. It's made of 100% cotton and it feels like pretty good cotton. I would say that it could be softer, but I am not like a textile expert. I can't tell you like the thread count. I'm also not a seamstress, so I can't tell you if this is like good stitching. I will link a video of someone who actually sews and their overall opinion of the quality of Selkie dresses. She actually reviewed the Ritz, I believe, dress, one of the chiffon ones or the organza ones. Those are two different fabrics. Organza. But like, I'm looking at this and it seems like pretty good. Like they actually close, like there isn't any raw hems on the inside. A lot of times what you'll see is they'll just serge the hem and then like sew it. For example, if we were to compare the inside of both sleeves, here's the dupe. So you can see it's serged and then just folded over the elastic. This does roll up quite a bit when it's on. Whereas this one, it's I don't know if you can tell, but it's like rolled over, hemmed, and then it's tacked down. And so this doesn't really go anywhere. Like the elastic does not slide around inside. When it comes to the actual puff, she's got poof. Both of them are pretty poofy. I would say that this one is like slightly puffier, but that's because the fabric is a bit more stiff. So when it comes to the fabric, first of all, they look pretty similar on camera, but here's the dupe and here's the real one. You're probably like, oh my God, they look the same. The dupe is a little bit more pink, and then the real one is a bit more yellow cream. It's really hard to pick up on camera, but the difference is there. Obviously the dupe, the actual print is a bit more blurry, like very, very slightly, and then the real one is more crisp. The other difference that's most obvious is the fact that the cups of the real one have underwire. So technically, if you are small chested like me, you can get away with not wearing a bra. It is still a little bit thin, it's not padded, so there might be a little pokage if it's cold. So if you ever go braless in one of these dresses and it's not the like thick organza one, I think that one's a little bit thicker in the boob. I'm not sure because I don't have one. I've heard. I could be wrong. Please correct me. I would recommend like pasties, or at least like adding some, I might add some padding at some point or just figure something out. But I don't really have room for a bra with this. It like fits me perfectly, like too perfectly. I have trouble getting the zipper up a little bit on my own. That is the other thing. I've heard complaints about Selkie and how they don't add the hook and eye at the top, and I concur. It's a bit annoying that a $400 dress does not have a hook and eye at the top. So it's a little bit harder because like the hook and eye, it helps to, like once you hook it, it's a lot easier to zip it up. It takes pressure off of the actual zipper and it preserves it a little bit longer. However, I guess I can't complain about the zipper because the zipper on the dupe is atrocious. As you might imagine by an AliExpress dress, it's horrible. It gets stuck at the waist and pulls, and it's not that tight on the waist, it's more tight on the bust. That is the other thing. The other obvious difference is that on the dupe, there is no underwire. They do, however, I mean, like the original, it does have this, I don't know if that's called a dart, but it's 2 pieces here instead of just one U shape or half circle like a lot of like knockoffs do. So it does cup the boob. The only problem is it's super short and the cups are fairly small. This is definitely more for small chested people. It's pretty tight on the bust. I do say. It still looks pretty good. I would say this is a little bit better than I expected. As far as the texture of the fabrics go, I actually prefer the texture of the dupe over the original because the original is a bit stiffer. It's a bit rougher, like a little bit. This is a poly cotton blend where this is 100% cotton. And I kind of prefer the poly cotton blend over the 100% cotton. It flows nicely. I'm very impressed with the actual fabric itself. Whereas like this, I mean, it's great. It's good quality. It's just, you know, when you're spending $400, you expect a lot more, you know? I don't know how it could be better. Like, again, I'm not a textile expert, but it just like blow me away, man. But it's still good. I'm not saying it's not good. The other thing I would say that I would do differently with the original is that I don't like that they don't have loops installed inside where you can hang it on the hanger. I know those are annoying when they like poke out, but the purpose of those is to take stress off of the sleeves when you go to hang it. You loop it onto the hanger and that's where the weight goes. However, they don't have that. So when you hang it, you have to hang it from the shoulders, which is elasticated. And over time, the weight of the gown is going to pull down and kind of start to like loosen up the stretch a bit. So you might see some wear and tear on that. So I'm considering alternative ways of hanging it. I might just like do that number. I don't know if that's good for it or not, but I already have some tops where there's like elastic here where it's like stretching out and they're just tops. They're not full ball gowns. So this one has the same issue, but this was a $30, $40 dress. So it's not as bad. I would say for $30 or $40, I've had dresses around that price point that had the little loops and a hook and eye and a better zipper. So there's that. The other thing about the dupe that is probably kills the whole thing. Like if I had gotten this and like that was all the issues were, I would be like, yes, this was money well spent. This is worth it. Definitely buy the dupe if you like the style of dress, but you don't want to spend $400, but you want to have the look. It is good enough. It doesn't feel like a plastic bag. However, whoever cut the pattern piece to the bodice needs to be fired. Just kidding. They probably make like 2 cents an hour. It's probably made in a sweatshop. Forget I said that. But quality control really dropped the ball on this one because at first I thought this was a hole, like a popped seam. But upon further investigation, I find that when the bodice was cut out, at least this piece of the bodice, they accidentally cut this part too narrow and they went in and it does not line up with the side seam. So as a result, when they went to stitch all of this together, it didn't catch this. So this is just sticking out. And now that it's not sewn down, it is fraying and unraveling. I don't really know how to fix this because it's not like I can just fold it over and attempt to tack it down on the seam because it doesn't, it comes like a quarter, at least it's like a triangle shape, but at the very bottom, it comes like half an inch away from the seam. So that's cool. I know what you're thinking though. You have 2 of that dress. Why are you sad? You're like, whatever, man. Well, first of all, it's AliExpress. I don't know if I can actually return this. I have never tried to return to AliExpress. It seems like it'd be really complicated since it's not Amazon. But also I would have liked to donate this to someone to actually use, but I'm now like, I feel bad. I'm like, can I give this to I did offer it to my photographer friend. I was like, if you want this for your client closet, we could try to like at least hide the fact that that's an issue. So, or just pose the model in a way, maybe put a belt over it or another corset over it. I mean, it has a built-in corset. You want to be able to use it, but at this point you may as well just put another corset over the top of it. I'll see what I can do because other than that, the dress is passable. Better for smaller chested people, which I'm pretty small chested, but not like flat. Now, when it comes to sizing, in the Selkie dress, I got a small, which I was advised on the Selkie group because I'm part of the Buy Sell Trade group and the Selkie Obsessed, just to get information and hear like customer testimonials, see what people think about the sizing and just to get advice. So they told me that with the cotton dresses, they do run true to size. So in normal, everyday brand, that's not how you say that. In most US brands, I'm a size small or US 4. So according to their size chart, I would fit exactly into to a small. I know in the past that their size chart was different, but now with the new size chart and anything that came after that new size chart, I am a small. And so with the cotton ones, they do run true to size, so they recommended I get a small. And it fits, like I said, almost too perfect, like a glove. If I gain or lose any weight, it's not, well, if I lose weight, it'll be fine because I can tighten it. But if I gain any weight, I'm screwed, especially if I get it in my boobs. Now with the organza, they said I might need to size up to a medium. And if you're spending like $400 on a dress, may as well size up and have it tailored, I guess, because it's an investment piece anyways. So this fit perfect. Now when it comes to the dupes, here's the thing. These only go up to a large. They are not size inclusive, whereas Selkie is pretty size inclusive. I'll have to go on the website after I film this and see what their size range is, but they're generally pretty size inclusive, especially since they revamped their size chart, because I think I used to be a medium typically, but they like, anyway, they're pretty size inclusive. With the dupes from AliExpress, nada, no, not even close. So I got a medium in the dupe, and I could have gone up to a large, considering the bust is rather tight. And like I said, if I wanted to like make the course, like the waist a little bit tighter, if it was a little bit big, you've got the draw, you've got the lace up, you can tighten it. So I could have gone up to a large. And guess what? Large is the largest size that you can get, at least from this seller. There are a few sellers on AliExpress that do go up to an XL, but it's rare and I don't trust it, honestly. There are some that like sell like the more extravagant gowns that do custom sizing, but again, I don't trust it and I've never done that. If you guys want me to order a custom ball gown one of these days from AliExpress to test it out, let me know. I will put some money aside for that if you would like me to do that. But yeah, so it's not size inclusive at all. If you're over a size US 6, you're screwed unless you find a seller that happens to go up to an XL. But then again, that may accommodate up to an 8 at most. There hasn't been a lot of luck when it comes to finding size inclusive Selkie dupes. The best place I would say is probably Shein. They do have some like puff dresses that are reminiscent of Selkie and they do have plus sizes, but I've heard that they run kind of small and I think they only go up to a 3 or 4X, if even that. So it's not very inclusive at all. So that's a big point off that, because I'm a pretty small human. I was a stuffed sausage in this. It was kind of like, I don't know if you could see, but it was like pressing into, especially when it was tight. So do I think that the price of Selkie is worth it? It's really hard for me to say, since this is the only Selkie dress that I own. I'd have to really try more to see. Like I said, not my tax bracket, man. I have considered possibly renting one from Nuuly or Rent the Runway, but so far their selection hasn't been the greatest. They haven't really had the styles of dresses that I want to try, like the seashell, the Ritz, the Renaissance. Just they mostly have the puffs, or I think the Parliament style, and I don't really like the shorter style because I don't like my knees. I don't have sexy knees like Pedro Pascal. So yeah, maybe in the future, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. I've also been trying to get on their affiliate list so that I can maybe once every few months get one for free, so that I can give you guys a better opinion overall of the brand. I know that some people have mixed opinions about them, about the quality, about if it's worth that ginormous price. And also, apparently there is a controversy about them stealing smaller designers' designs. And I did not know about this until recently. Now, when it comes to that style, there is another brand that's very similar. If you guys are like wanting that princessy look, but you don't want to buy from Selkie, there is a UK brand called Fanciful Doll. And I would even say that those dresses are prettier than Selkie. Like, they are super floofy and princessy, and there's so much detail, and they're around the same price. I would actually say that they're slightly cheaper. Like, for the $400 mark, I think you can actually get more bang for your buck, like when it comes to extravagantness. I'll put up some examples here of some dresses that are either around 400 or a little bit more than 400, or even a little bit less, like the 3-something range. And yeah, you actually get some pretty amazing styles for around that price. And some of, like, they're more Ritz-esque style. When I say Ritz-esque, I mean it's similar to the Ritz style on Selkie. Their sleeves are actually poofier. It's the same with their puff style too. It's like big old shoulders, like Cinderella style shoulders. That's not everyone's cup of tea, but my inner child loves it. I'm a princess. I don't know, someday I might try that brand. I don't know if this channel pops off and I'm like raking in the dough. Who knows, maybe I'll be able to try that stuff out, because y'all know I love my princess dresses and I like to twirl around and frolic. But for now, I just have this one. This was an investment. This was a splurge, and it was to celebrate my 6th year anniversary with my husband. Last year was 5. We didn't really get to do anything because we had COVID. We were supposed to go on a trip and it didn't happen. My husband and I are finally getting to do an anniversary trip this year. Hopefully, if things don't go god awfully wrong like they have the last few years, this year we're finally trying to do it. I won a photo shoot with a fantasy photographer, and it just so happens that we scheduled the photo shoot around the time of the Colorado Ren Fair. There is some really exciting content to come because I'm going to be working on a DIY for a dress, because I'm going to bring a few dress options. I'm going to vlog the trip, vlog the Ren Fair, get lots and lots of delicious footage, and have some videos about that. And I might even get my hair done beforehand. So please hope for me that it actually works out, because the last few years, every time I try to do something fun like this and exciting and photos and adventure, it does not work out. So yeah, if you would like to support my content, you can subscribe, you can like. I also have channel memberships, so if you would like to support me monetarily, you can do that. Or if that is not your jam, but you still want to support me monetarily, Patreon style, but I don't have a Patreon, I also have paid subscriptions on Instagram, and I post behind the scenes and derpy and outtakes on there. At least I'm going to try to be more consistent about posting that content. Just stuff that I wouldn't normally post for the public because it's not aesthetic enough. So like photo dumps and stuff. Channel memberships, you can use our custom, like our exclusive emojis, and also sometimes I post sneak peeks of my projects on the community tab. Now comes the part where I have to wrap up a video and I don't know how the heck to do that. Yes, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and TikTok and all the places. And next week, hopefully I will have my fairy wing DIY video up for you guys. I'm still working on that. I'm trying to do my doing my best to do the best job. Okay, I need to stop. Like and subscribe. I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Oh, it's a baby. It's a baby.